Congressman George Santos has just been charged by federal prosecutors. Do you believe that he should be removed from Congress? Should he be allowed to continue to serve?
I'll look at the charges.
He'll look at the charges. He's not going to just jump in as the speaker, as the leader of Republicans and lead the Republicans. Certainly not lead them into making clear that they don't accept criminal activities by their members. No, he's just going to wait and see what happens with George Santos. We already know what has happened with George Santos from the time that he got elected throughout the last few years of his life. A whole lot of really sketchy stuff, but that's not going to have any effect on Kevin McCarthy at this point. So he found that news breaking that George Santos has been charged with 13 different crimes to be inconvenient. Comer in the House also, we'll get to the charges in one sec. Comer, one of the other House leaders, he was doing a press conference having to do with them changing the law on unemployment fraud. Because they want to talk about unemployment fraud because that's the poor people getting away with murder. That's something we can focus on. George Santos, one of the charges was for that. And they broke in with a question, and he's like, we'll allow the gears of justice to work. Anyway, it's just a great day when George Santos steps one bit closer to criminal consequences for what he's done. So let's go to those charges now. 7 counts of wire fraud related to a fraudulent political contribution, a solicitation scheme, and an unemployment insurance fraud scheme. 3 counts of money laundering related to a fraudulent political contribution solicitation scheme. 2 counts of making false statements to the House of Representatives. Just 2 for false statements? I have a feeling if you dig, you can find some more, but 1 count of theft of public funds. And so a lot of this has to do with political contributions. Basically, he was personally enriching himself off of the money that he raised. And think about how incompetent you need to be that you can find a way to violate campaign finance law. It is so permissive. They let you get away with almost anything. And this doink found a way to break the law and might suffer the consequences for that. He has already surrendered himself to authorities, by the way. He's expected to appear before a magistrate judge on Wednesday afternoon. So we'll probably be talking about it on the Young Turks, which I will be on the second hour with Anna Kasparian. But JR, it looks like they got him. That's a lot of charges. What do you think?
It's a lot of charges, and we're gonna find out how much more Kevin McCarthy can figure out about this entire situation. Because when we were finding about the lies he was telling as he had his run up to getting into office, George Santos, that is, Kevin McCarthy wasn't necessarily clueless as to who George Santos was. He had his back, remember? Until there's some charges that come down, man, I'm not gonna have anything bad to say. Well, charges have come down, now he has to look into them. He hasn't looked into them at all. But somehow I get this weird notion that if there was charges against a Democrat, Kevin McCarthy would have read all about them, would have known everything was going on, and would have definitely been speaking about it. But he has nothing to say now. It's really odd how that's always the situation with these guys. But so as far as all these charges, he's been through all these things. We kind of saw this coming, but I don't know if it's to a degree for all these different things. But I think you mentioned Comer in his press conference. Steve Scalise also had a press conference, and he was promoting this bill that they had, HR 1163, Protecting Taxpayers and Victims of Unemployment Fraud Act. He was asked again about Santos as well during that, and he said, "Oh, well, I mean, we're gonna figure this out. We'll look into it. But what we're gonna talk about is protecting people because we're trying to pass this bill." Odd news for this bill, John. I looked at a whole bunch of co-sponsors to this bill. There's this guy named Representative Santos, George, representative from New York 3, who's a co-sponsor on this bill that is titled Protecting Taxpayers and Victims of Unemployment Fraud Act. And Steve Scalise could not answer the question of, does this undermine the legitimacy of the way Republicans are talking about things like fraud? He didn't want to connect those 2 dots, but George Santos's name is on the bill. I think you guys have a problem with hypocrisy when it comes to these types of things. Just saying.
But does that not make him more of an expert? He knows the criminal mind because he has one. It's like the Suicide Squad. You have to hire a villain to take down a villain. That's the way I see it anyway. Anyway, with that said,
good movie.
Yeah, not bad, I guess. With that said, he is currently, surrendered to the authorities. They're booking him under one of his many names. I don't know. We'll find out more details as we go forward.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.